Everyone, it's InvestorZilla here with an app review. I've been looking at the Voyager app, which is available on iOS and Android. This is an app that's very similar to Coinbase, but offers more tokens and more interest on more tokens. If you don't mind taking a moment, hitting the like button, subscribing, and if you are a fan of the Voyager app and want to check it out, there's a link in the description below to get you $25 worth of Bitcoin once you sign up and execute a trade of $100. I also need to share that I do have a few shares in the Voyager stock, about 100 shares total right now. Not a large investment, but I at least want to be transparent with my perspective here. So looking at the app reviews on Google Play and iOS, you can see that the iOS reviews are amazing. 4.8 stars out of 27.4 thousand reviews. Google Play is a bit lower with maybe a 3.8-ish out of 2,199 at the moment of this screenshot. Now, I've personally only been using the iOS app, so my review is going to be mainly focused on that. But I do love the app. It is incredibly easy to use. It took me just a few minutes to sign up, and I was ready to transfer my crypto into it within minutes. Now, Voyager claims to be commission free, and by all rights, that is true. But basically, Voyager can execute a bunch of different exchanges to get you a good price while also opening up extra liquidity and very, very, very fast transaction time. So how do they make money? Well, let's say you purchase Ethereum at $1,800 a token. Now, if they find a price that is better than that $1,800, they take a fraction of the savings and pass some of that on to you. Remember, they attach to a bunch of different exchanges, so they look for the best price. It's actually a really cool model, really brilliant in my mind. Now, recently in an interview with the Voyager CEO, they said they had made like $20 million, I believe, in trading just in a single month. Now, that has the potential to be a massive business. They currently have all these tokens available here for purchasing and trading. Now, one of the reasons I first got drawn to Voyager was that they had Cardano or this ADA token. Now, not long after I started using Voyager, though, Coinbase finally opened up trading for ADA. Now, I had been holding Cardano since mid to late 2017, and I decided to move that all over to Voyager to try out the app. And since then, I've also moved Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as I purchased some USD coins, which I'll talk about in a minute. All in all, just a huge number of tokens, which should at least have you interested in trying it out. Again, my main reason was ADA, which is also now on Coinbase finally. Now, the app itself is very simple. When you first launch it, you see the market view over here on the left. If you click an individual token, you can see more details. For example, let's click on ADA, and you can see ADA actually pays a 5.25% interest, which is way more than my savings account. In fact, it's about 10 times what my savings account actually pays me at Ally. Now, I became skeptical, to be honest. After seeing these rates, I started to dig in even more to try to understand how can they afford to pay 5.25% for ADA. The next thing I actually found was some of these pay up to 9%. USD coin, 9%? When it's mapped to the dollar, that's mind-blowing. This actually scared me at first. But as I dug in and listened to the CEO, I realized they are using other parties to lend out our crypto and then collecting interest and fees on it. You can see on the right that you can opt out of this if you want to. I think most people probably won't opt out and will just want the interest to be paid to them. So that begs the question, why would you want to opt out? Well, just keep reading. You can see in the risk disclosure that they lend, sell, pledge, rehypothecate, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, assign, invest, use, commingle, or otherwise dispose of funds and cryptocurrency assets to counterparties. And we will use our commercial best efforts to prevent any losses. By the way, rehypothecation basically means that they use our crypto for collateral, which is one way they probably earn a return, which results in funding some of the interest rates. What's dangerous here is that if there's a huge downturn in the market, the crypto we have in Voyager could result in us taking a loss. What I mean by that is not losing money in the value of our token. What I mean is our tokens could actually be lost if they are lent out and not paid back. I don't think that is very likely to happen, but it is something for us all to consider. When there are large payouts like this, it does increase the risk of us taking a loss. This is not completely safe, in my opinion, but it's unlikely a catastrophic event were to happen. I am just going to read the Voyager FAQ around how they are able to provide interest. So Voyager sources its liquidity with leading global liquidity partners managing billions of dollars in assets. This gives us the ability to utilize these partners for order routing and lending to generate interest on assets and pay out interest to our clients with very little risk. It also gives us the ability to do so without locking up your assets. Honestly, that is huge to me. I do not want my assets locked up. So your crypto can be accessed at the touch of a button. Voyager users have the option to opt out of the interest program. Apparently, there's more information below. And once opted out, that user's assets will not be lent out to third parties or subject to the terms of our lending program found in our user agreement. So basically, if you opt out, you should, in theory, reduce the risk of your portfolio taking a loss if somewhere down the chain of it being lent out, a catastrophe would have happened to your underlying tokens or to the loan that actually it was put into. Now, this is my current portfolio. I do have a little bit of Bitcoin. I think it's 0.19, Ethereum, Cardano, and some USD coin. And by the way, if you do sign up, this is the code here, my referral code. I haven't earned any interest yet on my holdings here, as it seems to be paid out at the beginning of the month, around the 5th, from what I can tell. So I believe in this company. I have shares in this company, and I have cash in my portfolio on Voyager. But keep calm and remain cautiously optimistic. I'm not rushing to put everything into Voyager because I have been burned in the past. The company feels legit. It's publicly traded and seems to make enough money to withstand any major market downturn. But let's be really honest right now. I do not see these interest rates lasting forever. In a recent interview that Meet Kevin had, the CEO on his channel, which I loved that interview, by the way, the CEO said that for the next 3 months, they should be around what they are now, and they probably won't change. And it may even go longer than that. I just want to be really clear, though. Some of these rates have to be impossible to maintain, like that 9% on USD coin. It's a great way, though, to draw people into Voyager. But if I were to fast forward a few months down the road, I wouldn't be surprised to see all the interest rates half what they are now. A year from now, third, fourth of what they are now, and maybe in some cases, interest rate removed. I don't want to overhype the fact that the interest rate is super good, like really good right now. And it is so tempting for me to take a ton of money and put it into Voyager. And I still may do this, but I'm keeping an eye on things. I want to make sure that I'm only putting in there what I feel I'm able to lose if something catastrophic were to happen. But I do like the app. It's really, really easy to use. And I don't think a catastrophe is in the near future. So I feel safe having my money in there. And I feel like the company being publicly traded and having all its numbers out there actually makes it a lot safer. So if you're interested, I would recommend at least signing up and checking it out. And Cardano was my main reason for getting into it, but I'm actually glad I did regardless of Cardano, now that it's even on Coinbase. But I do have a few closing points. I said this before, but I'm skeptical the interest will stay where it is for the long term. I'm also keeping an eye on the company's balance sheet so that I can feel safe the company can handle a sharp decline or some catastrophes along the way. What happens if Bitcoin crashes to 50%? I think the company can sustain it. I don't think Bitcoin's going to crash 50%. 20%, maybe. 50%, I don't think so. But I would bet you if it were to crash 50%, interest rates would immediately go to zero for everything. I think the company would be fine though. Now, I do like this app better than Coinbase, and I'm excited that I can finally start earning something with my ADA because I don't plan on selling that forever. I do love, I would love to know what you think about me moving more money, maybe even some of my crypto that I have in Coinbase over to Voyager. I'd also love to know if you've checked out the app, what your thoughts are. Do you think it's safe? Is there anything I've missed or that you'd want me to talk more in depth about? As always, love you all. Have a great day and invest safely.